Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes. Beside me is Corner, and we would like to welcome you to Mystery Movie Night at the Regal.
Very late.
We
very
made
late
it.
Start. Sorry about that, folks.
Yes. I would like to say hello to everyone in the chat. First off, everybody following along on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Thank you for being here. Everyone joining us on Sin's channel. Everybody here in the chat, including my guest last night for the other side of midnight, Curtis Selby.
Hey,
Friend of the channel, Enigma Severus. Somebody who might not necessarily be a friend of Sin's channel, Simon
Smith. Being
Smith.
a stinker is what he's being. Like I told him, I had no control over the airlines.
Host of Films with Friends, where I will be appearing this Friday night at what was it, 8? I can't even remember. I have to look it up later. And the creator of hello. We have guests. Yes.
Yes, my son.
Good to go. And the creator of the 10-word review, Big Out Presents Shadow of the Raven, Nevermore. A name I'm seeing for the first time, Wilkie's Movies and Music.
Yes, Wilkie's.
Oh,
he has a
good to see you.
Channel.
Right on. All right. Well, let's get to it. It has been quite a day for you.
It has been a day.
You had quite the schedule.
I tell you, I was not sure, you guys, if I was going to be able to finish watching this because my folks, I was up in Jersey helping my brother settle into his new home. My folks were up too. I finally talked them into flying back home instead of driving with me because it's a long ass drive. And so they flew today, but their arrival was going to be in the middle of the movie. So I was like, well, I'll just come get you and I'll have Deleted tell me. I was thinking, I'll have Deleted tell me how it ended. But it ended up that their flight was delayed. So I saw the movie. But because their flight was delayed, I was late getting home. Anyway, it's all good. We're here now. So that's why we're late, though. Let's blame it on Frontier.
All right. Well, the mystery was kind of spoiled for us because it seems
how
Cinemark spilled the cereal.
How? Like what? I don't understand this. Were they screening it too?
So it would seem.
But I don't understand how people connected that with the Regal Mystery Movie Monday. How they knew that that's what it was going to be. I didn't see the thread, so I'm just making observations without knowing what the heck I'm talking about.
That's pretty much what I know too.
Okay.
So I went into this movie being totally not surprised.
Me either, and, because you told me. So
because I told you, yeah.
But you know, it's interesting. I bought a ticket. I had bought a ticket to see it this Friday.
Oh.
I'm canceling the ticket now because I've seen it. I don't need to go out.
Right.
Not because not because it was bad, but just I don't need to go out.
Well,
my schedule's already really full. Yes, I've seen it.
All right. So, okay, folks, without any further ado, tonight's movie was Boy Kills World, starring Bill Skarsgård, because Bill Skarsgård has to be in everything.
He's been in a lot lately for sure.
Yes, he has. All right, so where to begin? This movie. It starts out when his character is a young boy. He lives with his mother and his sister in this kind of totalitarian type alternate reality, I guess. You know, they never really do say where
No,
they
they
are,
don't.
and
It's like a
yeah, it's fairly,
completely fictional
yeah,
place, I think. Is this based on a
indeed.
graphic novel? Because this felt like it should have been based on a graphic novel.
I kind of got that idea
Right? Yeah.
because it is Vertigo Entertainment, and Vertigo does graphic novels.
Ah, okay.
But and yes, hello to Anthony. He have the long name here. Good to
Cool.
see you. All
Cool.
right. Right. This is how anybody. By the way, I had an interview with Patty, aka Have Chivo Reviews. It was awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and you can't really tell where they are
Mm-mm.
by the people because it's
It's a very
diverse,
diverse,
but they don't call attention to the diverse, which
No, they
I
don't.
was
There
very
was
thankful with.
right. There was nothing agenda motivated. In other words,
No.
about this film that I could discern. It felt like a comic book movie.
Mhm.
There was a movie that it reminds me of, like in my brain somewhere. I'm thinking of a movie that it reminds me of, but I don't remember the title. I don't even remember what. I just like it had a very similar feel to something that I've seen before that was probably graphic novel based, which
Mhm.
is why that was one of the first things I started to think about. So, oh, well, this movie was actually pretty hilarious, y'all.
Yeah.
It was funny and it was bloody, and I knew it was going to be bloody. Being being killed by breakfast cereal mascots. This movie was insane. Laughing
Mhm.
at so much gore that was happening, and it was over the top. It got a bit John Wicky. There were moments where it got John Wicky, but its saving grace
Mhm.
was in the characters, the humor, and the action. To me, was more entertaining than John Wick action. So I don't know if that makes any sense. It was
Mhm.
just that there were okay. So like at the end, there are injuries sustained throughout the film that it's like, okay, there's no way in Hades this person would have survived. So that kind of got under my skin a little bit. But like I said, its saving grace was the humor and
Mhm.
all the stuff that happened up to that point. Just the way things were filmed, and the action shots, and the quirky, like the voice that the narrator uses because he can't speak. Oh, that was
Mhm.
hilarious. I thought it was so funny. I laughed several times during this movie,
Right.
especially when a really brutal killing happened. It was comedic. An accidental brutal killing.
An accidental. Yeah. And so, like I said, we meet Bill Skarsgård's character as a young boy. He lives with his sister and his mother. It's this
Mhm.
totalitarian regime ruling over everybody.
Yep.
They have what's called the
Culling.
culling, where
Mhm.
they take a number of people aside every one day a year and
Mhm.
pretty much purge out on them. And
Yeah, and also Hunger
yeah,
Games almost,
very,
reminded me of
yeah.
that.
Hmm.
So it had those elements to it. Famke Janssen was in here.
Hmm.
Um, I just so distracted by her plastic surgery. It's a little hard to pay attention to the story. It's like, oh, Famke, what did you do to your eyes?
Yeah.
It's painful. Anyway, she was fine. Her acting was fine in here. I
Yeah,
noticed
she's
the
fine.
chick in the motorcycle helmet. She
Hmm.
was the one who played in Happy Death Day. So it
Happy
was
Death
cool to
Day.
see. Yeah, it was really cool
Yeah.
to see her in here.
So
Would
now
I?
I'm dead.
Uh, Sorry, I was just reading.
Yeah, no. Right.
Um,
Uh, mm, well, you do have Andrew Koji in both movies.
who was that?
He was the Asian guy.
Oh, he was in Bullet Train.
He was in
Okay.
Bullet Train.
I
Yeah.
knew I knew his face. I've seen him in things multiple
Hmm.
times before. Okay. It was it had sort of that same type-ish humor and crazy action.
Hmm.
Definitely with less big names. I felt like Skarsgård did a great job with just acting with his face because he didn't talk.
Hmm.
Um, but for a minute there, I wasn't sure if he was really deaf because it seems like he was knowing things that people were saying even when he wasn't looking at them. So that confused me a little bit, but that just might be, I don't know. That just might be that he just figured things out. He didn't necessarily always have to read people's lips.
Hmm.
I never did know what the heck that black guy was saying.
Well,
I wish we could have
you
been
you
doing
you
that
weren't
was
supposed to.
I know, but it was so funny. It was like,
You know.
what? Oh my
Okay.
gosh. This is
Ben
funny.
Benny's going to tell you the plan. See.
And then he goes off on
Chicken
this.
lollipops, polka dots.
What is going on?
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
Yeah, and he's like, just act like you know what's going on.
And the funny thing about it was he did everything they wanted him to do ultimately. It's just that
Yeah, he
he
just was
didn't
kind
know
of bumbling
he
his
didn't know
way
that
through.
he was doing
No, he didn't till
he
it
just
came
didn't
back
know he
around.
was doing it
Yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
It was funny. I enjoyed this film despite some of those issues, and there was one issue that really stuck out at me. Hey Sashi, that stuck out at me that confused me, and I'm not really sure how much of it I can mention without giving away spoilers to anybody who would like to go see it. So, I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it after the stream, but there was um I'm trying to do you happen to have
Um
any idea what I'm getting ready to allude to?
uh I tell you what, put it into private
Okay.
and we'll see if it's something we can talk around or not.
Okay.
And hello, Sashi. Sashi, who of course is from the future,
Yes.
so should already know what we think of this movie. So, all right. All right. We will try to be as non-spoilery as possible,
Yeah.
folks, if we can. If we have to go into a spoiler section, then we will. But we'll see.
Okay, I sent it to you. I sent you like the
Okay.
whole thing I have an issue with. I mean, it really wasn't enough to destroy it, but it was enough to really stick out to me unless there's something I'm just missing because there was a lot of really out there stuff, you guys. There were things that the MC would witness that he was totally hallucinating because of some stuff that went on like in his training with that Asian guy, the
Hmm.
shaman.
Hmm.
So I'm a little unsure what was truth and what was fiction as far as that went. I don't know. But yeah, what I mentioned to you was like it was like, wait a second, how could this be?
How could that? Okay.
I don't know if there's a way you can word it that won't give it away. Apparently, there's a fictional Super Dragon
Hmm.
Punch Force 3 that is being adapted into an actual video game and animated series. Well, okay. All right. It reminded me of a Street Fighter.
Hmm.
It had those same graphics,
Yeah.
that game, and he used the voice. I didn't watch I didn't pay attention to the trailer, you guys, so I didn't notice why. If it says in the trailer why he was talking with this voice, I didn't notice, but that's obviously explained
He's yeah, because he's
in the
talking
movie
with that voice in the movie because it was from that video game.
from that video game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was like his favorite character in his favorite video game. So in
Yeah.
his mind, he speaks as that character.
Yeah. It's funny. It's a funny
Okay.
voice too. The way the
It's
lines. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
H. John Benjamin, of course, Archer and
Oh, okay.
Dr. Katz, and yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, major voice. So it's he's hilarious in this.
Very.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without.
Yeah.
All right, let's put it. All right, I'll put it this way. All of his memories are not fabricated.
Yeah, but
That's him starting to remember
right, but that particular
the truth.
part
Hmm.
seems to me like that would be one of the ones that was fabricated based on the narrative we were given at the beginning. And it doesn't make sense to me that it wouldn't have been, given what we find out about the characters. So I was so that just really really jumped out at me, and I was like, wait, this is wonderful and everything, but wait, how could this be? So
It can be because that
because
happened.
it's a crazy story. Well, because it
Yeah.
had, but
Um,
really, see, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm confused. I am confuddled by that.
I can't disrupt the timeline by revealing all I know. Oh, of course not. All right. And we're dancing around things here, folks, because there are there are a couple of third act twists,
Yes, I definitely
and
didn't see them coming at all.
well, I saw part of it coming.
Okay.
I didn't see
There was one thing I
the second
suspected.
thing coming, which I should have, but
There was one thing I suspected about motorcycle helmet chick, and that did end up being the case.
mhm.
But I still didn't see what the full twist was when it was revealed. Like I didn't see that coming, even though I sort of kind of guessed something about that particular character. Why they didn't cast Bill Skarsgård as well, he would have
um,
done great. Hey, Drew, he
hello,
would have
Drew.
done great. I think Skarsgård is a good actor. He was impressive in here. He was funny. His facial expressions, like that scene where he's eating the cookies or whatever. Oh, that was the look on his face when he took the first bite in his eyes. He was very expressive in here. I really did enjoy his performance.
She says his
Nice.
channel's now up to 949. Good, good, cool. All right, but yeah, it's very funny. It's very gory. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those movies that it is pieces of other movies, but in a good way. It's going to put in mind. It's going to put you in mind of other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Kick Ass up to a point. Deadpool,
Kind of. Yeah.
kind of,
Maybe. Yeah.
in tone. Um,
Really crazy, cool
Ultraviolet,
cinematography, though.
sort of.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not saying that's all
Cartoony
bad. It's
violence.
cartoonish, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it was funny. Like if it hadn't been, if the characters hadn't been as interesting and comedic as they were, and if the dialogue hadn't been as good, I wouldn't have liked it as much as I did. So that was its backbone. That was its saving grace. Otherwise, I would have been like, "Oh, this is just absolutely ridiculous." Because there were things in there. There were injuries. Like I said, injuries sustained some that a person could not survive from.
Mm-hmm.
So
How
I don't
much
know.
influence does Raimi have as producer?
Was he a producer on here? I didn't know.
He was, yeah. Uh,
Okay.
in some areas, I could
The
see
goofy
a Raimi
violence,
influence.
probably.
That um,
I was just thinking Army of Darkness. I think that's the one I recently watched had a watch party with Simon and Colin and Dee. Well, I
mhm.
think it's better. I did not like Army of Darkness. It was that was way too goofy for me for some reason. It didn't work for me.
Sashi says Ultraviolet. That was my nephew's favorite movie growing up. I can
I
understand
bet.
that.
I bet.
Yeah. But yeah, Raimi does have an influence on this. I'm being vague because I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
So this is less goofy or at least better done. Than Army of Darkness. I'm kind of mixed on Army of Darkness personally. When I first saw it, I was not a fan of it, but I think
Yeah.
I've come to appreciate it over the years. I think I need to just sit down and watch that movie again and finally decide where I am on it. But
I already know where I am on that film.
um,
I think it's I think it's a little less goofy, and I do think it's better done. But then I just wasn't crazy about Army of Darkness anyway. I know it's got fans, so
because I feel Day Shift would give the same type of movie you're describing.
I haven't finished.
I didn't
Day
see Day
Shift.
Shift,
Yeah,
so
I started, but I
I,
never finished.
I couldn't judge it. But you know, there are things to laugh at in this movie, and it is, like I said, it does get gory. There
Yeah.
are body parts, limbs flying off all over the place.
Oh yes.
There was an older woman who was sitting in front of me,
Oh.
and I was wondering, well, not like decrepit old, older than me at least.
Okay.
And so she's there with her blanket, and she's there, on the phone playing the whatever that candy cane or whatever that game is,
Candy
and
Crush.
Candy Crush, on her
Oh,
phone before the
okay.
movie starts. And I'm wondering, oh, how long is she going to make it through this?
Oh, how long did she?
Uh, she made it up to Dave.
Dave. Who was Dave again? Was Dave the?
Dave was Dismembered the Night guy.
Was Dave the? Wait. He was what?
All right.
Was Dave the guy that helped him?
My
The guy
minor
that.
minor spoilers here. Skarsgård gets into a fight with this guy named Dave.
Oh, that
Um,
crazy guy.
and
That crazy guy.
the crazy guy who
I don't know
gets
what the heck was going on with him. You talking about with
dismembered.
his arm?
Yeah,
His arm,
gets
right? That guy.
and yeah, and
And then she was out of there.
when the leg went, she got up and
She's like, I'm done. I'm done.
didn't see her again.
Yeah,
So,
it was very, very bloody, but the bloodiness, the violence was so humorous. It wasn't. I don't know. It just so like it didn't bother me. It's like, oh, ha 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 ha, because it was just so great. Like the ways that they thought of dismembering people and killing people was just, to me, it was funny, which is weird.
yeah, very very cartoony indeed.
Yeah.
Let's see. Charlton Copley shows up in this because, of course, he does. Because I guess we're shooting in Johannesburg. I don't know.
Who is that?
He's Glenn.
Which one was Glenn? I'm terrible with names. Deleted.
Okay.
I don't remember who Glenn was.
The guy that kept calling fuck puppet.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Wasn't he in
Yeah.
District 9?
District 9.
Yay,
And,
okay.
he's in Monkey
Yeah.
Man. That's out right now.
Is that
and,
him? Is that the same guy? I thought I saw him and I'm like,
yeah.
I thought it was the same guy, but then I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was another person. Yeah, I knew that it was
District
the
9.
guy from
Yeah.
District 9, but I thought it was I thought the guy who was in Monkey Man was this dude who played in Batman versus Superman as one of those bad guys. I didn't realize it was all the same person. Unless I'm misremembering a face.
Right.
Anyway, whatever. I recognized him. Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah. And hello, LDG.
Was there a scene at all where they desired a man to behave like a?
No. So
No.
they behave like a chicken just as. No. I'm not getting the reference here, Enigma. I'm
I
sorry.
think it's going right over my head. Sorry.
All right. Um, I was in a cinema years ago with an old lady in front of me who kept talking to her hat that she had placed in this. Oh boy.
Oh, the gentleman. Okay.
Hmm.
I was rereading that Enigma, and I was like, the chicken. That reminds me of a scene in The Gentleman. Sorry.
Which Michelle Dockery from The Gentleman
Yep.
is in this movie?
The Gentleman movie. He's
The
referring to the
Gentleman movie.
Gentleman
Oh,
series.
that's in the series. Okay.
Yes, there's a
Because
guy that has
I
to
don't
dress up like a chicken.
I don't remember that from. I'm saying I don't remember that from the movie.
Yeah, that wasn't in the movie, but yeah, Michelle Dockery was in here playing an interesting character.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So
it
to
was
probably
fun.
keep pops up in random movies. Yeah, this is one of those movies that stars people that pop up in random movies. um, dude from The Raid shows up. And is in, I think he was in one of the John Wicks as well. I think he was in. I think that was 3 that he was in.
Oh, it's been years since I've seen 3. I try to
Yeah.
forget that I saw it.
And hello to Darth Plato. Good to
Hi,
see you.
Darth Plato.
There was another question. Why does the poster look like something from Double Dragon? Just because I just picked a poster that I liked from what they had in on
Is Double
Letterboxd, and
Dragon
I just went with it.
a game?
Double
Video game?
Dragon was a game,
Well,
and they did
that
a film
that
back in
might
the
have been
'90s with it.
intentional
Yeah, it might have
because
been. Yeah.
that game that they reference in the show is kind of like I guess maybe like a Double Dragon or Street Fighter type ish game.
Mhm.
So that's probably why that was done.
Yeah, I'm sure that was. I'm sure that was intentional. I mean, they kind of do. There are kind of bits where they're like fatality,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I was
stuff
getting ready to
like
say.
that. They
There's
do that,
references to yeah, exactly.
So it makes sense.
Okay, Double
Um,
Dragon is also made by Capcom, who made Street Fighter, which is why I got Street Fighter vibes from the video game that it showed. So, okay.
All right, but I don't really know how to go really further into this movie without going into spoilers,
Right,
and I
there's
want
not.
to try to avoid that.
He's
But
on a mission. This is a
he's on
revenge
him,
movie.
yeah,
Um,
because like I said, his family is wiped out in this culling. He is found by the shaman character who's um the guy in the raid who played Mad Dog. At
okay,
least
it's
I
been a
think it
while
was
since I
him.
saw the raid.
Yeah, but he's in the raid. He's one of the actors from the raid, and he's in John Wick 3 as well.
Mm.
And I have to plug in because I'm about to lose power.
Don't lose power.
He like I said, his family is wiped out during the culling, the 25 years before culling, and basically this guy trains him to fight,
Mm-hmm.
and
Some of those scenes
kind
were
of
fun as well.
yeah.
Comedic,
And there's
he's learning his way, like getting better at what he does.
mhm. The Salat guy, yeah, him. Um,
I hope you enjoy it,
so
Enigma. I hope you do. It was crazy fun.
Mhm.
Not the most perfect movie ever, but I enjoyed it.
Mhm. Yeah, no, not perfect. If you get into the vibe of what the movie is going to be, that it is that kind of, it has that kind of Deadpool humor to it, and
Mhm. Yeah.
he's wearing red, which reminds me of Deadpool, and
Oh yeah.
you know, so yeah, there's a lot of that, and then you get that a whole third act bit of when the twist comes, and
Twisty turns, yeah.
it kind of becomes this matter of, have
Oh,
you been told the correct
okay.
information the entire time, or are you being
Right.
lied to? And he has to
Right.
kind of sort through that,
Mhm.
and who can he trust, who can he not trust, and who's on his side or not, because maybe the people he thinks aren't, and it's, it's what it is, if you go into it with the right mindset, you'll dig it. If you don't, then I guess you don't.
It
This
definitely
is not.
won't be for everyone.
It won't be for everybody. No.
Mm.
Um,
I like the
uh,
guy, the Stranger Things guy. Um, who was in there? Dude with the beard.
oh, that was him, wasn't it?
Yep, yep. I
Okay.
recognized him right away. I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
that's the Stranger
Okay.
Things guy, the Russian, the guy who knows Russian and is helping the kids out."
Okay.
He was
Yeah.
good. Everybody was good. I thought everybody
Everybody's
did
good.
great
Yeah.
in here. Yeah.
They know what kind of movie they're in. That's how they play
Oh
it.
yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
you know, it's that.
Very
It's just that
self-aware.
very self-aware. They got the right
Yeah.
tone.
Yeah.
Nobody's showboating. Nobody's trying to take it too seriously. Um, that's it.
Yep. Go see it.
Yeah,
I mean, as
it's a good
it
it's a good
recommend
movie.
from me. Yeah.
Recommend, definitely. Yeah. Murray, yeah. Brett
Yeah,
Gelman.
Murray. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, you knew nothing if it yeah. It's kind of like it's just similar sort of craziness as
Yeah.
what went on in the Fifth Element.
It does play very much like a graphic novel.
Mhm.
Um, and that's
Just
why
the
I wanted
shots,
to
the
look,
way
yeah, just the
the shots
whole,
were done.
yeah.
The fight shots, and it was like, wow, this is like something that came directly out of a comic book.
Hmm.
So I got really strong vibes. I feel
And
like we need to look that up, find out if it
the
was.
the closing animation,
Yeah.
the closing credits animation definitely gives to a comic book
Yep.
style. Um,
And there is a post credits apparently. I left before the post credits cuz I had to go to
mhm.
pick up my mom and dad. But yeah, there's a post credits. If you go see it, I guess it doesn't. The way you described it to me makes it seem like it probably doesn't last very long. Probably not even a minute.
No,
Okay.
but it's a cute little you know exclamation point on the movie. Um, that's fine. Uh, so yeah, I mean, without getting too deep into spoilers on this, which we don't want to do, because there's a lot plot wise that gets thrown at you in the second half of the movie, and in particular in the third act, and we don't want to go into third act stuff here. So
But I really want to talk
um,
about that sometime. So,
we um
because I just have questions. I am
um
confuddled still, despite your explanation. I'm confuddled.
okay.
So,
We'll do this. Chat Would you like us to go into spoilers?
Yeah. Curtis, I would rate it probably a 7.5. 7.5, something like that.
Yeah. I'd say about that, yeah.
Mr. Han, man, you came right out of a comic book
Comic
named the
book
film.
named a film.
I don't know what that is.
Right.
Or I'm not remembering it. I will most likely email you soon.
Oh, is it Enter the Dragon? That's the only Mr. Han I remember
I have
was
not
Enter the
seen Enter the
Dragon.
Dragon. Yeah, if you don't want spoilers, Enigma, we can skip it. It's just maybe I'll just like I'll talk to him about it after the live stream. But there's just stuff that's just like just say them now on its spoiler chat, and anybody who doesn't want to be spoiled can leave. I mean, but see, nobody in the chat has seen it, so they can't give us feedback either.
Yeah.
And I just want to like ask.
Okay, here's my thing. Here's my thing on that being the twist in Book of Eli, is he does not play that character like he's blind.
Right.
Until you get that reveal at the end. Now, I have seen Book of Eli multiple times. Maybe I'm just missing something. I think it's a cool twist. I'm just saying it's a twist that's not set up during the movie.
Like, well, there's also that twist, in The Sixth Sense. This particular thing that I'm going to mention, it is kind of twisty. I mean, it is pretty twisty. So I don't, us talking about it, if anybody doesn't want to hear it, it's going to ruin that part of it for you.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin the experience of going to see the movie for you. So we'll talk about it off then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I see deaf people.
See deaf people. It doesn't seem like a movie where the plot is terribly important anyway. It kind of is.
Yeah.
It kind of really is, because there's, again, without giving too much away, they are really trying to say something about it is very much a movie about, if you're going to take revenge, dig two graves. And how a beef between two people can carry on over generations as well. Yeah. And I thought, that's actually kind of deep, and I wasn't expecting that in this movie. I almost don't want to say this because I'm afraid it'll give something away. I'll tell you a movie this somewhat reminds me of. I'll say the title, and then I'm not going to say anything else. I'll say it off screen. There was an independent movie probably 20 years ago now called Shotgun Stories.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
And there's something that happens in Shotgun Stories that happens in this movie. And it has that same effect on a certain character once they find out that information. So no, we will not go into spoilers. Maybe we can do a spoiler thing later on. I don't know, but we definitely obviously have some stuff we need to talk about when we're off screen.
Yeah, it's gnawing at me. That was one of the first things I mentioned to you before we went live. It was the first thing I said to the lady that sits next to me when we go to these things. I was like, I really liked it, but I had an issue with this part. Not counting, this is also not counting the extreme injuries that should have killed somebody, but whatever.
And hello today, I'm Herbert. Good to see you, sir. Let's see.
Hey,
I'm gonna move
Ironhearter.
up because I think I might have missed a few here. Yeah. Don't worry, folks. We're not going to go into spoilers. We'll just save that for another time. So, all right, any final words and before we close it out?
Just as far as about this movie in particular, go see it. It was fun. Don't take it too terribly seriously, but it's not as goofy and ridiculous to me as Army of Darkness. If you liked Army of Darkness, you'll probably like this. I didn't like Army of Darkness, but I liked this. So I don't know. Everybody's taste is different. It's great. The choreography is great. The action is great, even though it gets ludicrous with some moments, but just the way certain shots were framed and filmed, I really liked it. I liked the dialogue, the whole thing with the voiceover that he was using, and his acting was really good. His facial expressions, because he had to act only with his face because he did not speak at all in this movie. So this is definitely recommend, thumbs up from me.
Is it acknowledging the existence of spoilers a type of spoiler? I guess.
I don't know. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, both on my channel and on Sins, and everyone who joined us on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there.
There's several of them there.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
So, Boy Kills World. Good movie. Go check it out.
Coming out this weekend.
It is.
Yeah, another one of the mystery movies that is shown to us the same week that it comes out. Oh my gosh! Don't forget to, okay, less than 2 months to catch up with 2 seasons. Oh gosh, bless it. That's right. I still haven't finished season 3 of The Boys. Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you guys. Plan to give an email full once I've seen it. Okay. Cool. All right. So, Sim, what's coming up for you?
So tomorrow I'm gonna put up a review for a review I did before I left for Jersey for In the Land of Saints and Sinners with Liam Neeson. I don't even know if it's still in theaters, but I went to go see it. And I have a couple other reviews for shows that I haven't put up. One for Monarch and one for Renegade Nell, which is a Disney Plus. And also I'm going to be filming a review for Jean de Barret, the Johnny Depp film where he plays King Louis XV. But I haven't filmed that yet. So that's kind of like in the immediate future. Rating out of 10, I'd mentioned, probably 7.5.
Yeah.
For me. Definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I know. Every time I think of Liam Neeson now, I think of Simon talking about him peeing in his pants.
Okay.
No, it's the whole thing.
And with that.
Yeah. Sorry. Simon started it. He started it. It's his fault.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, thank you all very much for joining us.
Yes.
We're recommending Boy Kills World. Check it out.
Yep.
So, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win. Stay tuned. I am going to have a Rebel Moon review coming up very soon.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, I saw it, Rebel Moon Part 2. So, I survived.
Yeah, I haven't even finished the first one. I don't even know if I will. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Look, that is how you say it. Luego.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just saying it with a southern accent. I am actually saying it with the proper accent. Hasta luego.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching. Good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.